Welcome, everybody, to the analyst desk, or should I say the crap show. Not a crap show from us, but the crap show of what the Leafs just pulled. It is I, Jacob Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by the usual suspects, Mr. Lane, Dashing Dashco, and Mr.
Not
Moore
even wave.
for your money.
Woo!
I'm going to talk in a very soft and seductive voice, so everyone remains calm here at the desk today. As the Leafs,
I think you need to comment that says everyone to talk respectfully or whatever.
we're not very good tonight. I think that's just a very
I don't know if I can talk respectfully, to be honest.
Well, you know
easy
what I
way to
mean.
do it. And let's get to the
Most
comments. It's just Lane, a joke.
100%.
Yeah, that was. I'm gonna say this before
It wasn't
Dan.
a funny joke.
I'm gonna say this before Dan goes in. Anyone who was blaming Joseph Wall doesn't understand hockey. I'd like to get that very clear. I thought goaltending, this game could have been 10-0 by midway through the second. I don't think I'm over-exaggerating. Like, this team has absolutely zero structure. Number two, everyone who said the team didn't need Matthews and Nyes. Without Matthews and Nyes, this team is hopeless. They are god-awful, because at least with Matthews and Nyes, when they had stretches where they didn't play that great in a game, you had enough skill to get back in it. You don't even have enough skill right now, because I thought the third period they showed some pushback, but there's just not enough talent there, boys. I love the fight from Mermis, I will say that. I thought that did kind of bring in back some energy. But at the end of the day, you cannot... Montreal just completely and utterly dominated, I would say, 80% of that game. And I'm still going to keep harping on it, and I know you boys don't agree with me. It's a coaching problem. Because now you're getting the goal. Before it was coaching and goaltending. You're getting the goaltending. Joseph Woll played, we're allowed to say this. Joseph Woll played his ass off. He played absolutely incredible. And hello, John. The Leafs are already off to the golf course early. Yikes. I do agree. Like, the Leafs look like they've gone golfing.
John. I love that name. That's amazing. John.
But I don't know. Do you guys think I'm overreacting by saying it's a fair assessment that, like, something's got to give? Like, I think I would fire Brubaker after tonight.
Yeah, no. I think the same thing. If there's no way this is a serious hockey team, if Brubaker's on the bench again, I'm trying to breathe. I don't know how to breathe right now. But if they don't fire Berube and people still go to this game, I have no hope for this franchise ever again. Because if you're still supporting this team, if they don't fire Berube, we're cooked. We're never going.
I would still go to another game.
No, I wouldn't.
I know you wouldn't. But
They show they don't care. They show they don't care. They don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't.
No.
I agree with John. The Leafs need to press the reset button and start over. And I really think the easiest way to do that to start, because you can't trade the whole team overnight. By the way, Jake McCabe also left with an upper body injury. Yeah. Just to add to the Toronto Maple losers, as John is calling them. And look, I'm going to say it. I think the way to kind of get this team rolling again, you look at maybe you're sick of my CFL references, but I really don't care. Look at the Saskatchewan Roughriders when they were brutally disappointed with failure. Even though Jason Moss is an excellent coach, what did they do? They fired Jason Moss.
Yeah.
They traded Cody Fajardo, very good quarterback. They moved on from Cody Fajardo. The Toronto Maple Leafs need to do the same, and they've done that with moving on from Mitch Marner. But it is time to move on from the coach. And I know Berube has only been there for a year and a bit, but I'm going to say this team never, and I mean never, looked this bad under Sheldon Keefe.
Okay, I'll just say,
because at least under Sheldon Keefe, they would take some shifts off, but Keefe had enough of a functioning brain when you were down goals to not put out fourth liners again. This feels like Randy Carlisle all over again. Because I'm telling you this, when you're down and you've scored to make it a 2-goal game, you pull the goalie and Scott Lawton's on the ice and Bobby McMahon is on the bench. Like, what are you doing? You're taking off a guy that has scored 20 goals in the last 2 years straight for a guy that is a bloody fourth liner. And then to add to the poop stack, you have traded away Grabcheck. You have traded away Mitten. You have traded away multiple first-round picks. You lost Stevens. You've lost pretty much every good prospect you have.
Alex Deans, you mean?
And they suck. I think Brad Treliving should be fired. I think Craig Berube should be fired.
100%.
I think Savard should be fired because this power play is absolutely dreadful.
I agree Savard should be
year
fired.
in a row. Let me finish, Dan. And the only way this team really starts to finally fix it, I understand you guys can say it's the players. It's the players. It's the players. This is a completely different team than last year. It's not the players anymore. And because you think about it, your third, second, and fourth line is completely different than last year right now. It's completely different. Nick Robertson wasn't playing. Easton Cowan was in the OHL. Scott Lawton didn't get there till trade deadline. Bobby McMahon, you for some reason didn't play half the time. Max Domi should be in the AHL that you paid $3.5 million. But you look at that. Yes, besides of Nylander and Tavares, who is a main guy, Dakota Joshua wasn't here last year. Marcelli wasn't here last year. Mermis wasn't in the lineup last year. Guys, you keep saying it's the players. Almost every bleeping player has changed. So it's a coaching problem.
Okay.
And then you're going to say, well, Sheldon Keefe was a terrible coach. And why are the New Jersey bleeping Devils one of the best teams in the league under Sheldon Keefe? Right now under Craig Berube, they play tougher. They play tougher. They got pushed around like a bunch of crybabies. And all Craig Berube does is freaking stand there holding onto his nose like he got a nosebleed because he got punched by a fifth grader. Enough is enough. Getting to the comments here. I think the Leafs are hurting since Mitch, and I am going to completely disagree with you, John. Now, everything is catching up to them. I'm going to say this right, and I'm going to keep harping this home. The Leafs score more now, before when Matthews and Nyes were healthy, than when they did with Mitch Marner. You cannot blame one player for a total lack of effort. Dan, you can shake your head all you want, and I know you're going to go, it's because the third line player isn't on pace for 168 points. And at the end of the day, this is a coaching problem. When it's a culture issue, you blame two things: leadership, coaching.
Okay.
You go on, John Tavares should be the captain. Well, Austin Matthews is nowhere near this team right now, and they're still playing like a DO double dog poop.
You're lucky. They're lucky I'm not the owner, because I would walk in there and say, you have till tomorrow. Either you want to be here or you don't want to be here. If you don't respond, AHL, you go. I don't care. I don't care who it is. You have to trade everyone. You have to fire everyone. You have to get rid of every single thing you can, because this is all crap and it's not getting better. This team is dead. You can't kill something that's dying if it's already dead. This team is dead. This team is the worst team in the National Hockey League. Hands down, they will not win a game if they keep this roster, this coach. They're not winning anything. I don't care. You can put out Connor McDavid. You can put Crosby. You put Brown or Sean. But the effort these guys show is absolutely pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's pathetic.
I agree.
That poor chair.
Yeah. That poor chair. Wow. Hopefully it's okay.
Go ahead, Dan. I know you've been waiting very patiently.
I know we're for decks and not for chair, but we do not promote chair violence on the show.
I'm sorry. I'm just no.
Don't be so
bad. Frustrating. It's so frustrating. Every year, it's the same thing. Every game. It doesn't matter who's on this team. It doesn't matter who they have. They could put out anyone. They could put the Easter Bunny on this team, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay, here we go. We've been on the air for 12 minutes. I don't think I've said 3 words yet. And that's okay. Jacob and Lane are upset and frustrated. And I hate to be right, but going into the season, I say the Jays were going to play very well. And I said going into this season, the Maple Leafs were going to suck. And it hates to be right, but I'm right. The Maple Leafs suck. Okay? I hate being right, but that's the God honest truth. They suck. I'll be honest, I was more upset last year, even though they had a great year. I was more upset last year that they lost again in the playoffs, because I honestly thought this is the one time that they're going to make it past the second round. So the fact that they're under 500 and they're absolute joke of the league and they're the most pathetic team in the NHL, I'm not even upset. I'm still wearing my Maple Leaf stuff. I'm still wrapping it because I knew they would be the worst team in the league this year. And you know why? Because of the GM. They put a bad product on the ice. Period. And yeah, maybe Craig Berube needs to be fired. But I feel bad for him because it's not his fault.
Yes, it is.
He gives them no team to work with.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
he has plenty of team to work with.
Your third defensive pairing was literally an AHL pairing.
I don't care. It's your job as a coach.
And
Dan, it would be a different scenario if, let's say, they lost 5-2, but they played hard and they were outskilled. Then I would agree with you. That has not been the case for at least 85% of the losses this year, and even some of the wins. They're not being outskilled. They're being outworked.
Yeah.
But to the comments, back to John. I agree, Jacob, but I meant by the comment that in the beginning, a main thing that started to go wrong with them. Like, look, I'm sorry, but Mitch Marner, I still think you're seeing a culture problem that goes all the way back to the Marner era. And
it goes back before that.
That's the other thing I wanted to say. I gotta say, going in this year, this is the worst team we have seen in the Matthews era. But go back to that second comment there, Jacob. We had up on the screen. For the loss to Florida round 2, which was the biggest chance ever to win the cup in a long time, was a real kick in the balls. So, I 100% agree. And that's the thing. I was sobbing. I was just as mad as Lane is now when it was last year in the playoffs. This year, I'm like, it's more like a comedy fest because I knew I was right.
But Dan, you weren't right. You said that this team was going to play hard, they were going to be physical, and they just didn't have enough scoring. And that's why they were going to lose games. That is not the case whatsoever. So you're half right. No, hold on. You were half right. The team sucks.
Like a half credit.
But they suck for the wrong reason. Yeah. Like, this team should be really physical. They should be aggressive. They should be winning a lot of puck battles. When you're seeing Dakota Joshua lose a corner battle to Cole Caulfield, it's a work ethic problem.
Can we just say Dakota Joshua was disappointing?
No, because he's playing with, like, nobodies. You don't. Yeah, the biggest problem to you is Craig Berube just doesn't know what to do with this team.
Because you said Cole Joshua could be the Sam Bennett. He's definitely not.
Well, Sam Bennett's also not having a very good year. Newsflash.
Okay, but he's got about 8 points versus 5. But anyway.
Oh, wow, what a difference! Florida just got spanked by arguably the worst Canadian team right now in Edmonton.
Yeah,
like both Edmonton and Toronto this year, in my opinion, are complete jokes. The only difference is Edmonton has enough talent that they can lose out on work ethic. Toronto does not anymore, especially when Matthews and Knives are out of the lineup. This is really shown.
I agree with missing Knives.
You desperately need both of these guys in your lineup. Lane, go ahead.
I know Jacob's going to disagree with me, but I have to say it. I know you're not going to agree with me, and you're not going to want to hear this, but it's the truth. There's one player that's been here since 2012.
You're going to blame
hold on. Let me finish. There's one player that's been here since 2012 that's been in the Boston, that 2017. And there's one guy you have to trade, and it's Morgan Riley. You have to trade Riley. You have to trade Matt. No, he's been here too long. He's been here for 13 years.
Whatever the first when we get back in
13 years. 13 years. 13 years. 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My baby, don't mess around because we don't win games anymore. Thank God they all gotta go out that door and be like, hey, yeah.
I like the
don't care.
song,
I'm
by the
done.
way.
I'm done. I don't care about this. I don't want anyone on this team. They all got to go. Morgan Riley has been here for 13 years. He's been here when the culture started bad, when everything's been bad. He's the stink. You got to get rid of the stink. You got to get rid of the odor to get better. Whether Morgan Riley is not the problem or not, he's been here too long. I'm done with him. 13 years. I don't care anymore.
Okay, but Lane,
I see your point in a way.
I don't see your point at all.
But
that is like, hold on. That is like saying the Edmonton Oilers should trade Connor McDavid because back-to-back years in the Stanley Cup Finals, he had no points in Game 6 and Game 7. And the final two games of the playoffs. So the Oilers should trade Connor McDavid for Nick Robertson. Just get rid of him. Who cares?
At least they get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
But honestly, though, who cares? Do you think the Montreal Alouettes are happy that they made it to the Grey Cup and then lost in the finals?
No.
Do you think Steph Curry, when he lost to the Raptors in 2019, was happy that they got to the finals?
No.
Do you think the Carolina Hurricanes are happy that they get to the Eastern Final every year? Do you think the Florida Panthers were happy when they got to the Stanley Cup Finals and lost 3 years ago? There's no difference. Whether you get to the Stanley Cup Finals or lose in first round, it's the same thing. You didn't get it done. You can laugh all you want.
I agree with that.
Getting rid of Morgan Riley, who is fourth on your team in points, who is the staple, who is, I would say, and this is where Lane and I completely disagree. Morgan Riley should be the captain. Never mind getting rid of him.
What?
Morgan Riley should have been the captain when they named it to John Tavares, the man who can't even stay up past his bedtime to watch his country try to win a medal. And at the end of the day, you really want change from this team. You have to start looking at what worked before. What worked when this team was good. And I'm not blaming Joseph Woll at all today. Joseph Woll played phenomenal.
I could have stopped the
You need a true franchise, a true number one goalie that can play every night. And you need a coach that knows when to push and knows when to back off. You watch Craig Berube, he's up and down the bench, yelling and screaming at everyone. And here's the team.
They don't care. They
literally, but Lane, if you're at a job and no matter what you do, you are being constantly screamed at, don't you just start to tune them out?
That happened to me. Yeah, of course.
But didn't you just start to tune them out?
Of course I did.
That's my point with Craig Berube.
I walked off the job.
Unfortunately, with Craig, and that's basically what the Leafs have done. It's just they're under contracts and they can't walk off the ice. But basically what has happened is when you have coaches like Craig Berube and John Tortorella, and I would even say Paul Maurice, they have very, very short shelf lives with a team. That you have about a 3-year window max with these coaches until the players just stop listening. Unfortunately, Craig Berube's shelf life was a year and a bit, a season and a bit, and the shelf life is over. This team listened to Sheldon Keefe more than they listened to Craig Berube. And I'm not saying Sheldon Keefe is a brilliant Jack Adams winning coach. He's mediocre, but the players listen to him. You look at New Jersey, the players listen to him. When you look in Toronto right now, they are not listening to Craig Berube whatsoever because it's literally the Simpsons old man yelling at cloud. You need to bring in a coach that knows when to push and knows when to pull off. This might sound weird, but in my job currently, I work with a vast variety of different people. And I'm almost, Dan, you can laugh all you want.
You don't yell at a single person once at your job.
I'm like a coach. That is not true whatsoever. I've yelled at people at this job and other jobs.
Yeah, yelled at me.
I have fired a volunteer on the spot for not doing their job. And I don't like to do that, but you have to sometimes. And the big issue is right now, if I constantly just started screaming and belittling everybody, it would never get anywhere. And John, we are going to get to your comment very soon. Don't you worry. But you aren't going to get anywhere. If all you're going to do is yell and scream and yell and scream and then go crying to the media. I used to think Lane was insane when he said that Ryan Dimwitty was a problem in Toronto. And then you know what, Lane? Do you know what I did after Ryan Dimwitty left the Argos? I actually went back and watched a bunch of press conferences. And I realized, I'm like, what a baby.
Crazy.
What a baby. Poor me, my players don't care. My players don't do this. My players don't do that. You know what? And that's what I feel as of Craig Berube right now. Poor me. My
Jacob.
players don't try. It's not my job to motivate them when that's literally your job. You have one job, and your job is to prepare players. Look at Paul Maurice when he left the Winnipeg Jets. You know why he left? Because he said straight up, he said, I lost the dressing room, and I cannot effectively do my job. And he left. Craig
Jacob,
Berube is at that exact same point.
I have a question for you. Let me ask you a question. I know I'm an emotional character, but how often do I get reads of people right? I was right last year when I said after game 3, they were done. I was right about Ryan Dinwiddie when I said he's a cancer in that locker room. I'm telling you, Jacob, I know you don't like to hear it, and
It's not Morgan Riley, though. I don't agree with you on that.
It's everything. It's not just him. It's literally everything.
Okay, so then, Lane, are you fine trading John Tavares, William Nylander, Matthew Knies, Morgan Riley, Austin Matthews, Jake McCabe, Chris Tanev? You want all those guys gone?
I'm going into the room tonight.
So are you saying you want to blow the team up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So then this goes into the comment here from John. If you had the power to change one thing at least right now, what would it be?
Everything.
So is it you would literally just Bruno Mars it and catch a grenade, except you're not going to catch it, you're just going to throw it at the team.
I would go in the room. I would go in the room. If I was the Leaf president, if I was the president of MLSC, which God help everyone. If I was the president, I'm going into that room with a piece of paper and I'm putting it on the damn wall. It says, I want to be here. I don't want to be here. Before you even leave Montreal today, before you even go on the streets and go hit the strip clubs in Montreal, I'm saying you write your name on this, either this side of the paper or this side of the paper. If you want to be here, I'll let you stay for now. You don't want to be here.
Getting a smoked meat sandwich.
And if you refuse to answer, to the AHL you go until you answer me. I want to know who wants to be here. I want to know who wants to wear the jersey that Dan is wearing. I'm sick and tired of the lack of passion that this team shows day in, night out, year in, year out, week in, week out, decade in, decade out. I'm sick of it. Show the passion, play the team, or get out. Get out of my kitchen.
To answer,
I want passion.
To answer John's question, the one thing I would change, which maybe didn't affect tonight's game, but I don't care what anyone says, it has affected the year overall. I'm taking the captaincy off Austin Matthews because he is not performing since he lost his boyfriend, Mitch Marner. He has not performed at all. He is under a point a game. Because he's playing well defensively, all the credit to him, but I'm giving John Tavares the captaincy back because that obviously wasn't the problem.
Dan, I want you to go buy yourself your favorite Corvette. What's your favorite Corvette you've ever owned?
My favorite Corvette? I haven't owned a Corvette.
Okay, your favorite Corvette like your dream Corvette. What is it?
67.
Okay, 67 Corvette. Dan, I would like.
Oh, that's a bad number. Last time they won a Stanley Cup.
Okay, no. 67 Corvette. Dan, now you have your dream Corvette. I need you to tow 6 boats for me.
With the Corvette.
How's that going to go?
Will
it still hit the same top speed?
6 toy boats?
Full-size yachts. Is it going to still hit the same top speed? I'm asking a legitimate question.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. I'm getting to my point. Will it still hit the same top speed?
No.
So would you say then I am utilizing your 67 Corvette in the wrong way?
Yes.
So then why do you think it's Austin Matthews' fault that he isn't scoring as much when he is being tasked to defend the best?
Just with scoring.
Dan, can I finish? But what you're saying is Matthews isn't getting a point per game. He isn't scoring. He shouldn't be the captain. But Austin Matthews has now been asked to be your top shutdown centerman. So what you're doing, which is what he is doing, and by the way, he has the highest plus minus on the entire team. So he's doing that very well.
Whole losing streak.
Dan, during this losing streak, he's been out.
It sounds like an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's okay. And then Dan should get rid of that Corvette because it's an excuse. Because it's an excuse. Him telling me he can't move my 6 yachts with it. That's an excuse. It's a car. Figure it out, right? Plug and play. I should be able to take any car and do any task with it the exact same way. And that's what you're saying about Austin Matthews. Why do you think John Tavares is having such a phenomenal season?
He's not
Because he
playing
fits
against
under
top
Braves.
forwards.
Because
actually
John
fits under
Tavares
Brube's
has been
system.
told to go out there and score and win faceoffs and do nothing else. So he has
Yeah.
27 points in 21 games. Austin Matthews has been told, by the way, we expect 70 goals a year, but you also need to shut down the best player every night. And that's not feasible.
Yeah, I get it.
So
I
until
do agree with you
you
on that part.
So until you fire the coach, because even if you get rid of Austin Matthews, now John Tavares, you need to shut down the top line all the time. So what's going to happen to John Tavares' production?
It's going to go down.
It's going to go down drastically.
So is that the one thing you would change, Jacob, is firing the coach?
Apparently,
have
Dan,
to do
you
that.
need to be the captain, and I should have told you a Pontiac. Well, a Corvette's basically a Pontiac. If I can change one thing today, I got the entire coaching staff. I got the goalie. I get rid of the goalie coach. I get rid of the head coach. I get rid of the assistant coach.
Mark
I get
Savard's
rid
a
of
terrible power play
coach. I get rid of. I literally get rid
Nice
of every
guy, but-
single coach on the Maple Leafs, and temporarily, I would just bring up every coach from the Toronto Marlies until I can find someone else.
Oh my God.
Because I think they can do. I've watched some Marley games this year, and at least they're showing heart.
They are, yeah.
So clearly, this coaching staff does not work with this team. When all you do is go to the media and cry, that doesn't work. Austin, like the problem is, Craig Berube looks at Austin Matthews and says, "You're my Ryan O'Reilly."
But he's not.
They're not the same player, right? That's like saying, William Nylander, I want you to go out and block his. Chris Tanev's out. Nylander, you are now the shutdown defenseman. What would happen? It would be a total disaster.
It would be.
Max Domi is playing second line center when he's not a good center and he's not a second line player. You have Quinlan, who actually has speed and actually has an impact when he's on the ice, who's a healthy scratch. You have Steven Lorentz playing center when he should be a wing. You have Scott Lawton out when there's an empty net, when I think he has one goal as a Maple Leaf since he's been here. Meanwhile, Bobby McMahon's just sitting on the bench. You have Jake McCabe running a power play. Like, Craig Berube has no clue what to do.
Marlies are 500, by the way, with 7-7-1.
I'm not talking records. I'm talking effort. There's a big difference to me between wins and losses and X's and O's.
Well, it's
You
better
can
than
play,
Maple Leafs.
Dan.
Maple Leafs are under 500.
But Dan, what I'm saying is a team can play well and lose. Like the Vanier Cup today. Beautiful example. By the way, phenomenal. I absolutely love watching the Vanier Cup every year. Saskatchewan did not play bad, even though Montreal won.
Right.
Saskatchewan played with heart. They tried. They just weren't a good enough team to win.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to. The Toronto Maple Leafs are not trying. That's the difference. And that's a coaching problem because it's the coach's job to get the boys ready to go. Do I think it's ridiculous that these players being paid 10, 11, 12, 13 million dollars need a father figure to go say, "You can do it, son. I believe in you." Yeah, it is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, it's the truth.
It is, yeah.
And when the only guys that are showing fight are fourth liners and AHL players,
That's
it's a problem.
Well, give
And it
up
is just
Murnus
showing-
for that fight at the end there. What a fight that was.
Sure, it was great. But I'd like to see that from like your top guys showing a bit more care.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, Nylander played well. Tavares played well. Like, there were some bright spots.
And now here is an interesting thing too. As John is stating, Leaf tickets are really going down in price. So what
Good.
happens when all of a
Good.
sudden no one's buying these tickets?
Yeah.
Right? And like Brad Treliving went to the media and basically said nothing.
Like, that was
A
so
week ago.
weird. I didn't get that at all.
Because he's
What's
trying
the
to
point of the
save
press conference.
he's trying to save his own ass.
But to me, this makes it look worse.
So basically, John, to answer your question on what we'd all do, Dan wants to remove the captaincy from Matthews. Who would you give it to, Dan? You never said that.
John Tavares, I did say, I'll go back
Why?
to it.
You're
Obviously,
just
that
you're
wasn't
just
the problem.
recycling. It didn't work.
Well,
No, it didn't.
he's the one that won you the series. For one series that you won, he won it. That
By the
Tampa
way,
Bay
that was
series.
under Sheldon Keefe.
Well, okay, fine. Okay, then look at the other series against Ottawa. Tavares played very well.
Tavares was mediocre at best.
Well, okay, but still, I don't know. He took the massive pay cut this year. That's what's the difference maker to me. By taking that massive pay cut, he proved I want to be here.
No, he didn't. Well, I guess he did, yeah, but I don't care.
He went from 11 million to 4 million.
He
And
could still,
everyone knew he could have easily got more than double than that on the open market.
Also, thank you very much, David, for the like.
Yes, thank you.
And David, you know what's up right now? Us, because it's 10:35. We're not in bed. And
honestly, here's
that
what
the
I
Toronto
keep.
Maple Leafs are trending down, not up. And
You know what I keep? Honestly, if I could pick who I'll keep, here's who I'm keeping. I'm keeping Willie Nylander because I think he does love it here. I do think he does love it here. I'm keeping John Tavares because I do think he cares about being a Leaf. I do think so. And I'm keeping Matthew Nice for the future. Everything else, I'm done.
I'm keeping Morgan Riley. I get your point.
Everything
to
else
a
can
certain
go.
extent, Lane. But here's the argument: whatever defenseman in the league are you going to get better than Morgan Riley for $7.5 million?
But Dan, what Lane wants to do, he's not talking about replacing Morgan Riley for now. He's basically saying blow the team up, try to reload to be good in 3 years.
Yeah,
what you're saying,
you're not getting better.
So I just want to point out some numbers here, though, guys. Okay,
is this the first time under the Austin Matthews era the team's been under 500? I think.
Yes.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It has. Really?
No, it has to be.
No, it's not. They were under 500. They were actually under 500 last year. They were under 500 last year in late October. They were under 500 2 years ago and early November. But I just want to read you some stats for a second, guys, okay? I am right, because I literally just looked it up. Well, I don't care what you think.
Okay, the records then. You just look it up.
Well, okay, I closed them now, so I don't quite remember.
Yeah, see, you're making it up.
I'm not making it up, Dan.
No, I think that I know the one season where
this is the worst they've been. I do agree, but I just want to read you some playoff stats here. So in 22-23, the year that Keefe got them to the second round. Okay, you can go, oh God, all you want. Marner had his best playoff of his entire career. Riley had arguably his best playoffs. He had 12 points, 11 games, and a +11. Matthews had 11 points and a +2. Nylander, 10 points. Ryan O'Reilly, 9 points. Tavares, 8 points. And you go down the lineup further and further. You had so many guys contributing. Right. Plus, you did it with 2 different goaltenders. Luke Schenn was a +8. No idea why they let Luke Schenn go still. Yeah. But anyways, remember some of those numbers, okay? Mitch Marner, 14 points +7. Morgan Riley, 12 points +11. Matthews, 11 points +2. Nylander, 10 points. Ryan O'Reilly, 9 points. John Tavares, 8 points. Can we remember those numbers?
Yeah.
Or roughly?
Yeah.
Now let's go to 24-25 Stanley Cup playoffs. Mm-hmm. So Nylander, 15 points, right?
Yeah.
And 13 games, but a -3. Marner, 13 and 13, -1. Austin Matthews, you went on, was terrible. Did have 11 points in 13 games, while being a shutdown center. Again, shutdown center, less productive. Max Pacioretty basically became your Ryan O'Reilly with 8 points and a +1. John Tavares was a -6 with 7 points. Matthew Knies was a -4 with 7 points. Morgan Riley, getting Brandon Carlo instead of Luke Schenn, went from a +11 to -2. Max Domi had 33 penalty minutes. Okay, in 13 games. The team got worse. They made it one more game, but the team got worse.
The one thing I noticed
you look at all these stats,
plus and minus.
The team legitimately, even the goaltending, got worse. Anthony Stolarz had a 901. Joseph Woll in 22-23 had a 913. The team got worse. Brandon Carlo was a -4. 0 points in 13 games. This team got worse under Craig Berube. They don't score. Sure, maybe the problem is before they'd win games 5-4. Now they're losing games 5-2 or 4-2, we'll say. So they're letting in a little less, but to allow 1 or 2 less goals a game, they're scoring 3 less.
Why?
Like this team under Craig Berube has gotten worse. I don't care that they won the division, because winning the division means absolutely nothing in hockey. But let's get back to some comments here. Raptors are more interesting to watch now, which they are doing amazing. Is interesting, actually. The Raptors have just advanced to the quarterfinals of the in-season tournament that I don't really understand, but good on them.
Yeah, I know.
Funny how the Leafs were doing good and the Raptors are doing poorly. and now they do the Uno move. It is true. It's very
I
subtle that
don't
we see
think-
the
but that's
Raptors
the
and the
thing.
Leafs succeed at the same time.
I don't
It's
think the Leafs
true.
are
Yeah,
ever-
100%.
I
But the
don't think
Raptors
Leafs-
blew up. They completely blew up. And
Yeah.
now you're starting to see it about 4
They
years
fired
later.
GM, they fired coach, they got rid of these star players, and
See-
it's finally paying off.
And yeah, David, your Blackhawks got absolutely destroyed by the almost the Buffalo Bills. It was almost a 9-3 could be an NFL score.
Yeah, exactly.
They got absolutely destroyed by the Buffalo
thing I-
Sabres.
The one thing I
And-
don't agree with. Oh, sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
no
no.
worries, Blaine. And then we all knew the Leafs would lose. They just can't get their head out of their funny spot. But go ahead, Mr. Lane.
The only thing I disagree with John's comment is that I don't think the Leafs have been good all year. I really don't think they have.
No,
They weren't good at the start.
No.
They weren't even good when they were. You can play good, but who cares about playing good?
This
Jacob-
whole season.
I'm not done yet. Hold
Sorry.
on, let me finish. Sorry, Dan.
Sorry.
If Jacob does okay at his job, but his job is failing, he's not going to come home and be like, I did okay today, even though like everything failed. He's going to come home in a bad mood and say, I failed. It doesn't matter. Doing okay only is okay if you're actually doing okay. The results you have to have the results. And this is what I tried to say 4 days ago when we were all jumping up and down. At least we're playing with good efforts. It's cool to have effort, but effort doesn't get you wins, and it didn't get them wins. They played good through the last 4 games. Who cares? They got 1 point out of it. They didn't the results aren't there, and now you're in a spiral. You just lost to a team that has already lost 6 in a row. This should have been the night you come in and be like, yo, Montreal has bad goaltending. We're the Leafs. We need to turn this around. We just got spanked tonight. We just got spanked by Columbus. We didn't spank, but we're right here. We got to turn it around. We got to win tonight in the Bell Center on the road. We got to turn this around.
Yeah.
And you got clowned. You got absolutely clowned. They were like literally bullying you on the ice. They took your lunch. They took your lunch money and they bought everything and they ate it in front of you and gave you nothing to eat.
Well,
you got clowned in Montreal, and that's embarrassing.
Also,
gotta
quickly,
say,
thank you,
thanks.
Cam, for
Yeah.
the like. Always
Yeah.
appreciate that. And, welcome to the stream, Key. And we are all Lane literally lives in StreamYard, so he's always here. And college, I've been reading some interesting stuff about college football rankings. I've saw they've been a very miscued. Ohio State is currently first, I believe, but they've only played 1 ranked team in the college football circuit, which if you're wondering, Dan, it's like, and Lane, I don't know if you guys follow college football, but like there's your top 25 teams. So it's very weird for Ohio to be ranked number 1 when that's like saying if the Leafs, that team's the best team in the league, but they've only played 1 playoff team and the rest of the teams they played were crap.
Right, yeah.
Because in college football, it doesn't just go by record. It goes by like opponent and divisional game. And all
Right,
that
yeah, it's
fun
very
stuff.
unique versus like professional sports.
It's interesting here. John is projecting, which John, by the way, I made the same prediction after the Columbus game. I'm not as confident after this game, but the Leafs will bounce back and make the playoffs and get past the second round.
Whoa.
I never said past the second round. I said they'd make the playoffs.
Oh.
But John, I'm curious, and you can throw this in the comment section. Do you feel that's with the way the team is, or there's a major change coming, whether it's player personnel or coaching staff?
Good question.
I'm very
Good
curious
question.
about that, Mr. John.
What I was going to say,
John,
though, is
John.
I think
I
the
wonder if
reason
John's
why
on the John. Go ahead, Dan.
I think the reason why this team is so bad is that when I'm watching the game, right, it's a new year and everything, and you feel like, oh, do I want to watch a whole new team? We did some moves on the off season. We lost Mitch Marner, the attitude problem, but we got good guys like Nicholas Waugh and Dakota Joshua, and we made some progress, right? The problem is you watch this team, and you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing the team that lost Game 7 last year in the second round. I'm not seeing a new team. I'm seeing the team that lost Game 7 in the second round minus Mitch Marner and got worse. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know.
Stop blaming it on losing Marner.
No, I'm not.
Until you get that out of your skull. And yet, Key, I am in a bad mood today, but I'm always happy that you're in the comment section.
Oh, yes, we're happy to have you there. But I'm not blaming it on losing Mitch Marner. I'm just saying it's the same team minus Mitch Marner.
It's not.
It is.
It's not. I can go through so many players that are gone.
Yeah, but
yes,
for
the
worse.
bet's still on, Lane.
I'm
I'll hit
taking-
my head for a minute and a half because Dan was too much of a pansy to join the bet. And you
I'm
have to
taking-
wear my Argo hat.
What
Deal.
bet?
The bet we made last show.
What was that? I
I'm
forget.
taking it.
And I wouldn't at the Leafs. If the Leafs don't make the playoffs, I'm going to hit myself with a badminton racket live on the air in the head for a minute and a half. And if they do make the playoffs, Lane has to wear my Argo hat for half a show.
Good thing. Well, good thing that's not
They
happening.
need to
So.
restructure front end and back office. Take note. Yeah, Blue Jays.
Take
and the
notes from the
Raptors.
Raptors. And
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to say this too, and I'm going to add. I'm sorry I keep adding my CFL, but I'm going to say the same thing about taking notes as well from the Blue Bombers and the Argos. They have been the standard of the league for the last 5 years, besides of this year. And they completely blew up the entire coaching staff and upper management. And that's
Yeah,
when
they
they
did.
got good.
They did. Yeah.
So it's very interesting here. Now we have a comment from Cam, good friend of the program. They will turn it around, but how long will it take? Another injury tonight, McCabe. That's 8 regulars out. No one likes to blame injuries, but wow. And
That's
Cam,
a
you
big
do make
factor,
an
for
excellent point, right? That
sure.
and the problem is too the
They
Leafs
weren't
now. It's
playing
not
good
like
when they
it's
had them.
no, but that like here. But hold on for a second. Like you look at the injuries that are out. Matthews,
You shut down center.
Tanev,
You shut
and
down
Nyes,
defenseman.
and now McCabe.
Your top
You
winger.
literally have like half of your top 2 offensive and defensive lines out
Yeah.
of the lineup. And I agree, Lane. Who cares? Get it done. But at the
They
same
weren't playing
time, it
good when
is
they
a
had
big
it.
reason why. And I would be more sympathetic if I felt it was a skill gap and not an effort gap. But it's an effort gap. Dan, apparently you need to dance.
My point is just okay, fine, but they weren't good even when they had it.
That was I was just going to say, Mr. Lane. My problem is that
It's not like they were 12
even
and-
before the injuries, they were still like 500 and still very bad, right?
Like
If
even
they
if,
were
okay,
dominating with all those players and the injuries happening and they slipped
even
under
when it wouldn't
500,
be,
I would be more understanding. But
then
I
I
don't
wouldn't be
feel
out here
that's the case
screaming.
this year.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be
You
on
know?
here screaming my head off because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you when you had your full lineup all healthy, everything was good. You still
And
sucked.
I'll call you guys out here because you guys, when they sucked in the beginning of October, you guys say, "Oh, it's October hockey. Who cares?" They never played good in the beginning of the season. I was flipping out saying, "They're terrible. They're terrible. They're terrible." And now I'm right because at the beginning of the year, you got all your
trying to be
healthy
calm.
guys. That's when you got to pile up all the points. And now we're going into quarter way of the year. You have all these injuries, and you had nothing to begin with to work with, so you went from nothing to below nothing.
But Cam makes a great point here. They haven't had a chance to really work together all year. And a part of that is coaching. Because when the team was healthy, Berube wouldn't lead the lines long enough to really gel. And I want to still point something out to you guys. So Detroit leads the Atlantic with 27 points right now.
Right.
Toronto has 21 points.
That's a crazy.
You guys are acting like they're the Calgary Flames who have 15 points.
They're not far
And
off.
their division, they're 11 points out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You
okay,
guys
that's
are
all
hitting the panic. And I understand hitting the panic button. And I'm pissed. I am pissed. There's no denying it. However, they
Said the same thing
are,
about the Argos, bro. Look what
guys,
happened
they
to
are
them.
4 points out of a playoff spot. They are 6 points out of leading the division.
That's the crazy
The
thing. We're just
beautiful
so
thing
lucky.
is right now, there is no one besides of the Carolina Hurricanes who have really dominated in the East.
We're just so lucky that the Eastern Conference is so weak
Like,
this
do you
year.
guys
If
really
this was
see,
any other year, we would be done.
Jacob,
like,
you
I
said
don't
the same thing
see,
about the Argos,
guys, I
bro.
don't see the Philadelphia Flyers being a playoff team when this season's all said and done.
Oh,
And
I
they're in
don't
a
know. We're
wild card
looking
spot
pretty
at the
good.
moment. Right? Pittsburgh's out of the playoffs.
I
right
think
now
Philly's
again.
looking good.
Guys, but I'm just saying I'm like,
You're
we're
right, league
acting like the
blenders, bro.
season is done, but it's why I want to fire the coach now. So you still
I
have
agree with that.
time to fix this team because
I don't
you're
think
not
it's
that
necessary.
far out. Because at the end of the day, when they were healthy, and before you guys flip out, I can think of a
No, I
game
agree.
against Pittsburgh where the first 2 periods they played god awful. And then what happened in the third period? All the skill guys went out. Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, and Tavares completely dominated, and then they won.
Right.
So the big thing for the Leafs is when they have the skill level that's there, they can take over these games.
Yeah.
But what they need is a coaching structure that fits the players. Like right now, let's just spitball here. Who here can probably lift the most at like a weight bench? Probably Lane, between Dan Lane and I.
Really, you think so? And I don't know about
I
that.
think
And considering Dan has
go a
cerebral
couple rounds. It
palsy
can't go for
and I have
long.
tendonitis, more than likely, Lane, you will be able to outlift the both of us, right?
Okay.
So if we're going into a
I
weightlifting
don't know
contest,
about that, but sure.
and let's say
we
I'm
should
the
do that.
I'm
coach,
challenging you.
but let's say I'm the coach. Let's say, okay, we have Mike Tyson and Dan Moore.
Okay.
Who can outlift who?
Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Mike Tyson can outlift Dan. Correct, Dan?
So.
Would
I
you
hope
agree with
so.
that statement?
I
I'm
agree,
Craig
I hope so.
Berube, and I have a weightlifting competition, and I have a sales competition. Dan, you're doing the weightlifting. Mike Tyson's doing the sales.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he'd be like, so you want to buy a car?
So I mean, would that work?
Want to buy a car for me?
Would that work? So does that mean Mike Tyson's a bad
That's my Mike
boxer?
Tyson impression.
So does that mean Mike Tyson's a bad boxer
No.
or a bad wrestler? Well, I guess he boxed. Yeah. Dan, does that make you a bad salesperson?
No.
Exactly. Craig Berube not
see-
knowing
I
how
wanna
to
see Mike
coach
Tyson
doesn't
sell
make
it.
Austin Matthews a bad goal scorer.
Someone needs to make a Sora video of Mike Tyson trying to sell a car right now. And
Now
send it
let's
to
get
me.
back in. Let's get back into some comments here.
I want to see that now.
Back to John.
That makes
Overall, I
me-
still
that would
haven't
cheer me up.
forgave the Leafs since they blew the series of the Habs a few years ago in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Since then, it's been the same issue of Game 7. Something major has to change soon.
Yeah. 100%.
At this point, the playoffs is out of the question for the Leafs now. I don't agree with you saying that it's out of the question. John. I don't agree. I feel the Leafs. You guys, you got to remember the Leafs are 4 points out of a playoff spot right now.
Mm-hmm.
To Key, great commenter on the show. The Flyers, no playoffs. They're doing good at their rebuilding, though, I have to say. Yeah, I think the Flyers, I just don't see them being a playoff team by the end of the year. I think their goaltending's too suspect. But, I mean, the Flyers are starting to build. David saying new coach isn't fixing a slacking roster. Okay, but guys, you can't change the whole roster tomorrow. The season is still salvageable today. So you have to look and be like, what can I do to make this team play better now?
Okay,
I can't trade all these guys with no move clauses. I can fire the coach and bring in a coach that has a better system to fit these players. Look at Nick Arbuckle. And again, I'm going to keep bringing in football. But look at Nick Arbuckle. Oh, you know, even better example. Baker Mayfield in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He was terrible. And then he went to Tampa. Now he might win the MVP.
Yeah, literally.
He needed a different system to have success.
Yeah.
Josh Allen was never projected to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
True.
Fans were furious when the Bills drafted him.
Yeah. Oh,
Patrick Mahomes, people were literally like destroying the city when KC drafted him.
Yeah.
The right system, and it worked.
But
interesting here, if the playoff starts today in Key's hockey league, Dan will be playing Lane in the first round.
Whoa,
I'm getting.
Oh,
Dan, apparently you can lift 100 pounds according to John and knock out Mike Tyson. Reminds me of that Lonely Island song where Andy Samberg says he's going to fight Rocky.
That's what I was going to say. I could do like a couple big heavy lifts. I just can't do a whole bunch of them, right? But
interesting here, Cam. If Berube is the coach, they need to make some moves. I do agree with that. If you're going to stick with Craig Berube, the roster has to change.
Right.
And change, I think, quite a bit. Like, I think a lot of these guys, the problem is the guys that don't fit Berube's system are the guys you can't move.
Right.
But I have a question for Jacob.
Just quickly, one more comment here, and then we'll get to your question, Mr. Dashko. I also could spank the active coach, and how does that help? Well, I mean, he might like it. I don't know what I don't know what Berube's into.
I should have asked him when I met him if he likes spanking, but
he likes getting spanked by other teams apparently. But Lane, what's your question?
Okay, so we all know. Well, a lot of us here remember the CFL season, and Jacob went on and on and on every week about Argos still have a chance. The Argos still have a chance.
But they did still have a chance, realistically, when I said it.
But I'm just saying, at what point how many more games we got to lose in a row before you jump on board?
It depends. But guys, it depends where the other teams are at.
If we lose the next 6 games in a row, you're still going to say they're going to
Depends what Philly, Pittsburgh, Montreal, Columbus, Ottawa, Tampa, Detroit do.
Okay, if they win all 6 games, we lose all 6 games.
Guys, I just want to point something out here before you're saying that. Number one, it's too early. It's too early in the season because I want to go back to November 22nd, the 24-25 season.
Did you know statistically
the St. Louis Blues were 9-11-1. They had a goal differential of -19, and they were not in the playoffs. What happened?
They won the Stanley Cup.
They did not win the Stanley Cup that year. They went out first round, but they made the playoffs.
Oh, I got the years mixed up. Derp.
You're thinking the year they won. By the way, at that point in the season, Montreal was 7-10-2 with only 16 points. Ottawa, Montreal, and Boston were all not making the playoffs at that point.
Yeah.
Washington was not winning their division. Toronto was winning the division at the time. Funny enough. But all I'm getting at is, and then now let's go to the end of the regular season.
Did you know that? But did you know that? What is it, like 85% of the teams I think it's by like American Thanksgiving make the playoffs? 85%, man.
Okay, but Ottawa and Montreal weren't making the playoffs, then they did. Yeah. St. Louis wasn't making the playoffs, then they did. Minnesota wasn't making the playoffs, but they did. Right. Colorado was in a wild card spot. They ended up getting into their division. Vegas was in a wild card. They ended up winning their division.
Right.
The Boston Bruins were only 1 point out of a playoff spot. They finished like almost 20 points behind. It is too early. I would say by Christmas, you can start to write teams on and off.
So we're about
you
a
can't,
month away.
You can't. I do agree. Right now, it's one of those things. You certainly cannot make the playoffs in November, but you cannot make the playoffs in November. I do agree. Right. I just don't feel I can write a team off that could realistically as a 3-game winning streak away from leading the division.
Regardless if it's
that's kind of my thing right now. Like, okay, the Calgary Flames, I will say will not make the playoffs this year.
Well,
because they are 12 points out of a spot. They don't have the talent, and they're just not good. Toronto was 6 points. Toronto was 4 points out of a playoff spot, 6 points out of winning their division. You cannot count them out yet. But Dan, you're going to say time will tell.
No, I was going to say time will tell whether this will change things in a good way or bad way. But I think the loss to Montreal tonight is a changing point for the season. I do. I think it's either a massive wake-up call and they'll play really good after tonight, or this is kind of the beginning of the worst. And the reason why I say that is this game had all the opportunities to win. You had the backup goalie. They were on a 5-game losing streak. Like, I really feel like, but to Cam's point, we would have a lot of injuries. But I really feel like this was the game to win. So I think this is going to be a changing point one way or another.
Interesting comment from John. If you could bring back a Leafs past coach to the situation now, who would it be?
Well, Jacob's not going to like my answer. Actually, no. I'm going to, well, I don't know. Maybe I will change it because I think Jacob's going to say the other person I'm thinking of. So won't say that person, make things interesting. I'll say my answer, even though I'll piss Jacob off.
You're going to say Pat Quinn.
Rest in peace, Pat Quinn. Mr. Cigar, old school Stanley Cup winner, took out Bobby Orr. I'm bringing him back.
If I could bring back one coach, unfortunately, they literally can't because he's passed away.
Oh, you're not going to pick who I thought you were going to pick.
I would bring back the 93 coach and Mr. Burns.
Pat Burns, yes.
Pat Burns. because I felt he knew when to push the buttons and when to back away and when to defend his players and when to rip his players a new one. And absolutely rip Pat Quinn in there. Yeah. Lane, if there's one coach that you could bring back, who would it be?
The guy from 1967, the last time they won it, the damn thing.
You know, honorable mention to Paul Maurice.
That's who I thought you were going to pick. That's why I didn't pick him.
The only other one I would have maybe considered as well, and Dan would hate it, I actually think Sheldon Keefe could turn the season around.
Oh, come on.
Sheldon Keefe with this group was a better coach than Berube.
Wow.
Very long comment here. Jacob, I know you hate my boys. David, I don't have boys. But sadly, I think they're still grieving Chara. I mean, the guy was significant. Oh, you mean for Boston? Yes, absolutely. I think Boston still isn't. I mean, Zadorov is a close replacement.
Well, to me, it's not just Chara, it's Patrice Bergeron. He retired too early.
What does LGRW mean?
Let's go Red Wings.
Oh, let's go Red Wings. Yeah, the Red Wings look good this year.
Yeah.
Leading the division.
They are.
And really David's just saying, I hate coaches.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about the Red Wings quickly, and then I know Lane wants to show us something that I'm sure will be very interesting. The Detroit Red Wings are the only team right now, which I find this very interesting, that are making the playoffs in the East with a negative goal differential.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Detroit is just finding ways to win games, which I find interesting compared to, like, I feel the Leafs are finding ways to lose games.
Yeah.
And I would say the Red Wings are finding ways to win games. I mean, what a disappointment, though, John Gibson has been. Like, Cam Talbot's kind of been your saver in Detroit. Like, Cam Talbot's having an absolutely phenomenal year right now.
Larkin's been
I know he's only an .899 save percentage, but he's got a 2.66 goals against average, and he's just finding ways to win games. He's 9-2 in 12 games.
I think the key with Detroit, and people might laugh at me, but I finally think this year is the first time forever we've seen Detroit kind of make the hump. Dylan Larkin's kind of like a Steven Yzerman type, young captain taking over the team. You got the veteran in Patrick Laine. You got the good wingers like Alice DeBrincat and stuff. And all the other pieces that we forget about for Detroit Stanley Cup winners, like the Boyd Devereaux and Chris Drapers and Darren McCarthy and Kirk Milby, right? All those deaf guys. If you look at the moves Detroit made this offseason and the past little while, full deaf guys. Mason Appleton, Andrew Kopp, Ben Salat, JT Comfort. These are all kind of deaf guys that have not getting the points. You're right, Jacob. They are negative goal difference, but we're still winning. And why? Because they got all those deaf guys playing very well defensively.
I'm going to say it too. I find with Detroit, they're finding ways to win. When the Leafs, for example, are finding ways to lose. But hey, if you're a Red Wings fan right now, and I believe you're a new viewer, so thank you very much for the comments. I don't recognize your handle. Obviously, like if you're a Red Wings fan right now, you're very happy.
Yeah, 100% you are.
This is the guy I'm bringing back. This guy. Punch and latch.
Yeah. I think when a few Stanley Cups in Toronto, did he?
This is the guy I'm bringing back. Let's go.
I think he won a couple Stanley Cups. Is there anyone in 65 as well?
I don't know. Just bring him back. He's the
only Leafs have never won since they've gone to a well, you have to win 3 rounds at least.
I know, yeah.
They've never won more than 2 rounds in their franchise history. They've never won more than 3 rounds, and they've never won the 3rd round in their franchise history. They've gotten to the 3rd round a few times.
Yeah, Alexander McGoney.
But let's get back to some more comments here. If we need one, LaRock, pull him out of the queue. Okay, that's an interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe looking into some minor league coaching. Dancing in Quebec, it's different.
I bet.
What does Okay, Key, I'm an old man when it comes to acronyms, but I'll give you a nice LOL sound effect for you.
That's me tonight.
Yeah,
I remember going to the Gardens for games. Those were the days.
Lucky you. I never made a game in the Gardens.
Also,
Legendary.
Zach Chambers, thank you very much for the like. Always appreciate it. Hope you're doing well, bud.
Yeah, 100%.
What coach can stop the sinking ship? Maybe an Argo coach, because they're literally a boat.
Like, I don't
Speaking
know.
of that quickly, I don't know if you guys have been seeing, the Argos have certainly been busy trying to find some new coaching staff.
They have been. Holy cow.
Lots of interviews of late. They just interviewed Rick Campbell today, reported by Third Down Nation, which was the one that I had on my radar.
Yeah.
There you go. The Leafs should bring in Rick Campbell to be their head coach.
I know it sounds crazy, but I often wondered that. Maybe we have a Gasso ass on here. Hey, Gasso ass.
Yay butt. Yay donkey butt. Lane, are you excited for the donkey butt?
I guess.
Yes, there is an ass cast. Yes, there is an ass cast. Or is it ass?
I understand to be a coach in a major league sports league, it's all about strategy and knowing the game and how it cheats the guys to play the best at that game and their craft, blah, blah, blah. However, a big part of coaching is knowing how to manage people and knowing how to get the best out of people without putting them down too much. And we've seen coaches in every leagues and every sports do extremely well. So my $1 million question is, you look at Toronto Maple Leafs, and you have you went through so many NHL coaches. Gasso ass, would you consider hiring a coach that knows nothing about hockey, but is very good at managing people, like John Snyder from the Blue Jays, Pinball Clemens from the Argos?
Not as my head coach, but maybe as like a player personnel.
Okay, but I'm saying
it's kind of like the Montreal Alouettes hired a war veteran to help them with their team building. Maybe that's a route, especially in the NHL. They're not like in the CFL where there is a cap in coaching.
Right.
Maybe you got to go that route. I don't know. Maybe the team needs a therapist with them on the bench. I don't know what this team needs, and I don't know, but something's got to give.
So you're ass, Jacob?
No, I'm gas. Not as a head coach, but Larry Robertson. There you go.
Ooh. What do you say, Lane? Gas or ass?
I think gas, because they can't take a serious coach.
Yeah, that's true. It'll be like a funny Walt
Disney
movie.
This is again. I know Jacob disagrees with me, but this is another thing that does frustrate me. You can't just blame the players. I get that, but again, I'm gonna say this, and it hasn't changed since 2015. And whether you guys like to admit it or not, they want their hands held, and that's what pisses me off even more than the coach. Yeah, I agree. Craig Berube is not utilizing them right. I get that. Okay, I'm not disagreeing with Jacob on that point at all. I think what he's doing is completely delusional. I think that guy's actually delusional. Yeah, but at the same time, whenever they get a coach who actually can coach a team, they don't. They're like literal kindergartners. They are. You can argue against it all you want, but they have shown time and time again when they have a coach that actually wants to play the way you're supposed to win a Stanley Cup, they don't want to do it.
Does that have to do?
At the end of the day, Mike Babcock wanted them to play this way. He wanted them to play a playoff style game, and they did it for a few seasons, and then they did exactly what they did tonight. They just went around flat, skated around, and didn't give two bleeps. Sheldon Keefe. Hold on, Sheldon Keefe. 1 second, Dan. Sorry. Yes, Sheldon Keefe was really nice to them for a long time. Really, kind of babied them and was like, "You guys are great, everything's great, everything." He finally started to dig into them and be like, "No, we suck. You guys need to smarten up. Come on." And you know what happened? They lost him too. And now they're saying that Berube's just done it in 2 years instead of 3. Where Berube's finally like, "Guys, if you want to win, you got to play 60 minutes." And they don't listen. So what is it? It's not just the coach. I get that. But they also don't listen to anyone. They don't listen to anyone.
But I probably look exhausted right now. But my point to that is, though, Craig Berube's been like that since he got here. Mike Babcock divided the dressing room before even the regular season started by telling Mitch Marner to point out which player was lazy. But don't worry, I won't tell anyone. And then told the entire team. Like, and Craig
Not
Berube,
hard.
the team played the best under Sheldon Keefe, who's a player's coach. So go get a player's coach.
Well, here's my
But then
argument
when he got tough on them, they
They
tuned him
fired,
out.
but they didn't give up on him. They played better. That game 7 against Boston, when they were eliminated, that team played hard.
It did, yeah.
They did. They lost, but they played hard. And
I wanted to say
under Craig Berube, you have the 2 biggest playoff losses, arguably, in the modern era. And they were game 5 and game 7 of the second round. I am still surprised Craig Berube was not fired after game 7.
I want to add to
Go
your
ahead,
point, Lane, because I think you have an interesting point. But my question is it these players, these specific individuals, or is it the fact that we are in a
Millennial.
Thank you, millennial generation now. Millennial generations don't like the generation.
No, I disagree with that because look at Florida. They have a bunch of millennials on their team.
Well, that's true.
And look at McDavid. McDavid goes in there. They like being yelled at. They actually prefer when they're yelled. McDavid is one of the guys who likes being screamed at and being told he sucks. So I don't agree with that. I think that it's just these guys. What happened was when they were brought in. Again, I'm gonna say I hate to say this. It's just the truth. They were brought in with the wrong guy at the wrong time. They were brought in with a guy, and then Brendan Shanahan was trying to be their friend and said, "No, let's treat them like preschoolers and tell them that everyone hold hands and sing Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya, Kumbaya," and everyone they get animal crackers and they get their freaking apple juice after the game, and they sit around and play parachute after the game. And Brendan Shanahan wanted them to all be treated. Wanted them to be treated with the utmost respect, and the media couldn't talk bad to them, and the coach couldn't talk bad to them. They all had to treat them like they were little kids, and then they got that in their head and said, "Oh, we kind of like being that whole comment about we can be treated like God," because they started to feel that's how the thing they started to get that attitude that like, hey, you can't talk to us like that. We don't have to do that. Then they're like a teenager, right? They rebel when they've been treated this way for the last 7 years. And then you have someone, the strict parent, that's like, okay, son, yeah, you're failing in college and you still don't do your laundry. Let's go. And he's like, well, Mom, I'm going to go listen to Blink-182 in my room and not do what I want to do. I'm not doing the dishes. That's literally what they are.
So the Maple Leafs are emos.
No, they got babied for 7 years.
Yeah,
they got treated. They got treated. You can't tell me I'm wrong because whenever they get a tough coach, they don't listen. They tune them out in 2 games.
So,
but the problem is, and it's an interesting point here, and I want to get to John's question in the comments though. And this is my point on the coaching. I really think for me it's technique. I think a coach can be kind of an ass. But if he's got the team playing the right way, Paul Maurice is an ass. But he's got that team playing the way it's built.
And Paul Maurice was here, and look what happened. They didn't care about.
They did care. At the end of the day, Paul Maurice was here back in the Paul Maurice was here in the Grabowski era, and they were 1 point out of missing the playoffs. Talk about a dumb firing. That firing was just stupid.
I agree.
But your goaltending was Andrew Raycroft. You had Brian McCabe shooting on his own net. And you almost made the playoffs.
That was last year of Matt Sundin, wasn't it?
No, he was already gone because that was the year after he said he wouldn't.
Sundin and Jason Allison.
But what I'm getting at is it's technique, and you guys could say it's because you're a hard ass coach, whatever. But Sheldon Keefe's techniques worked better with this roster. Craig Berube's technique of making Austin Matthews a shutdown centerman and trying to get goals out of Steven Lorentz and Scott Lawton doesn't work.
Now, do you think he put out those guys like Scott Lawton, Steven Lorentz to send like a message to guys?
Oh, it's stupid to send a message in a winnable game.
That's true. I don't know.
Like Craig Berube, but what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm wrong and it's the attitude of the coach and the team more than it is
I think it's
the technique?
This is what I'm saying. I think it's
6-7. Lane, you're doing the 6-7.
I think it's a little bit of everything, Jacob. I really do. I don't think you're wrong, Jacob. I don't think you're wrong. I just think it's a little. I don't know how to fix it. That's the problem because I don't think
you need the right
that
coach.
It's just one thing.
I really do. I think it's one thing. I think it's coaching. I've said
See,
for a while this season, I think it's two things. I think it's coaching and goaltending.
So what happens?
See-
Okay, let me just entertain me for a second. Entertain me for 2 minutes. What happens if they go get a play? Let's for some reason they go get their boy Bruce Boudreau. He comes in, and 30 games later, they're still doing the same thing. Then what?
Well, then I guess you got to look at the roster again.
What if
See,
they're
I
still
wanna answer-
putting around not playing?
I want to answer John's question here. I disagree with Jacob. I think it has to do with attitude. Because at any day, regardless,
They don't play
what
60-minute hockey.
Yeah, regardless
never
what
have.
coach you get, okay, these are all professional hockey coaches, okay? You could only do so many strategies and so many different things, right? It's not like someone's going to come in and revolutionize the hockey game, right? So I think it comes to attitude. I think that's the one thing that's different from coach to coach to coach. Every coach in the NHL has a different attitude and has a different strategy of how to manage people. And I think that's what this team is missing. Yeah, anyone can go in there and draw up plays and draw up strategies and okay, we're going to go north and south versus east and west and yada, yada, yada. But we need someone that knows how to manage people. I'm a strong believer in that. Like, I've worked with different people in different jobs and, at school, different class and classmates and all that. And people call me a good leader and stuff, which I really appreciate. But when it's not like I'm this person that knows everything. I don't know much of anything. I just go in there. It's true. I just go in there with a positive attitude. And instead of saying, okay, I need the whole team to do this, I look at my team as like, okay, what's your strength? You do your strength. Okay. So instead of having the whole team, kind of how Jake is playing with Austin Matthews, actually, instead of having the whole team playing defense, okay, Austin Matthews, you're a goal scorer, go score goals.
So then why won't you fire Berube? No, you're saying again the players are not being utilized right. Why won't you fire Berube? Why do you want to get rid of
I think it's
the
too
players
early.
that you? But you're telling me the season's over and you need to hit the panic button, but it's too early to fire the coach?
You're right, Jacob. It's not over yet. We're only 6 points out of winning the division. I'm just concerned because, like I said, whether it was a good momentum change or bad momentum change, I really feel tonight is a momentum change for the season. And tonight, the next game will be like, wow, we have to wake up and play better? Or this could be the game. It's like, this is when we knew the season was done.
We said that every game for the last. We've literally said that for the last 6 games. We can literally I can literally pull up our videos for the last 6 Leaf reviews we've done. We've said the same freaking crap every night. Oh, this is the momentum game. Are they going to be that night? And I'm like, well, we got our butts kicked. When's it going to be? No, I'm not.
Like Montreal. Look at
every game's a momentum game now. Every game's a momentum.
Record, for example. Okay, I picked Montreal as the best Canadian team, and you guys all laughed at me and said Montreal has lost 5 in a row. This was the game to win. Montreal lost 5 in a row, and you had the backup goalie in there in the last 5 starts of an .820 save percentage. This was the game for the Leafs to win, and they lost. Versus the other games when we said, "Oh, it's a momentum."
Jacob,
I don't know. I feel like
I could disagree with you. So I disagree with you. So not every game is a momentum game.
Let's get to some comments though. Cat parents are kindergarten teachers and hockey coaches are. The job never ends. Very, very true. I'd say it's gonna be I'd be going hard on my thoughts for sure. Yeah, like this is one here for the Leafs. I always stay true to I believe you mean your coach there. And yeah, it is. This is tough, but I still feel coaching is a big issue. But again, maybe you feel it's roster moves, and that's totally fine. We need Dashing as the next. Apparently, Lane, you should be the next coach.
Yeah, oh my God, they be getting They think Berube's hard on them. Oh,
Brandon's saying he doesn't have much hope for next game, even if Matthews.
I'll throw the clipboard. I'll be throwing a clipboard at William Nylander. I'm like, do better.
Well,
John has pulled a Lane when the Argos sucked and got the popcorn.
Yeah.
This is why my funny parts hurt. Yeah, like it's just man, this Leaf team is Look, at the end of the day, being a Leaf fan is just very frustrating.
It is, sir.
I miss the Blue
And
Jays.
I think maybe
Yeah,
the
I know
reason
it.
why I'm calmer than some people are is
Me.
I don't have faith in this team to win a cup.
No.
I don't. I said I thought this year would be kind of a write-off this year, and next year is when we start to see the new post era. And so far, that's what this year's looking like. This year's just looking like a write-off.
Well, then I don't even want
But I'm
what?
going to say this. The Leafs have 5 more games on this road trip.
Like,
I think Berube has the end of the road trip to straighten this team out. If not, he's gone.
whoa.
I said it before going into this road trip, and I still feel the same way. Someone stole David's line. Absolutely. David loves the funny parts. All you did was complain about the Blue Jays. Oh, Lane, you've been called out.
I was going to say that actually, but I don't know, my son.
Oh.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, I know.
I just hate all this losing, man. It's crazy. We live in the worst city. Okay, I have a gasser ass, actually. I have a really good gasser ass.
Gas, there is an ass, it's gas. Gas, there is an ass, gas. Or is it ass?
Gasser ass. For sports watching, we literally live in the worst sports watching city in the world. Because at least if you live in New York, you got different. There's actually a point someone brought up to me. If you live in New York, you got like the Rangers, you got the Islanders, Philly's not too far. You can watch the Knicks, you can watch all these different teams. For Toronto, we have these many teams, and they all suck and they always lose.
Hey, Argos are the most winning team.
Now we have whatever, but outside of the CFL.
Brandon's saying ass. He's going with Minnesota.
Ooh.
They don't win much either.
John, I agree with you 100%. That dead ball was a BS call. The players even made fun of it on their parade.
Yeah,
I still feel that was BS. People got mad at me for saying it was BS, but I saw the exact same play happen in this season, and they didn't call it a dead ball because they said, well, all you had to do was pick it up. They said it's supposed to be only if the ball was jammed, and the ball wasn't jammed. I've read 2 different versions of that rule, though, so it's hard to say. But I wasn't happy with it either. And
what are you guys saying? Are you guys with Brendan here? Are you guys saying ass?
But I will say quickly on that one, though, I could say the same thing that I said about the Leafs when they lost in 93. You just could have won Game 7. I'm going to go gas if you're a pure Toronto fan, because besides of the Argos, like, okay, the Raptors have won 1 championship. Jays haven't won since 93. Leafs haven't won since 67. Toronto Rock left Toronto. They're not even in Toronto anymore. They're moving back to Hamilton.
But still, name Toronto.
Toronto Marlies, well, they're connected to the Leafs.
They won.
Yeah, I'm going to go ass. Key is also, gas. Key's saying ass.
What
Saskatchewan only has the Riders, and in all hockey, they have the Regina Pats, who suck.
What about
the Riders also suck.
Where do you sit? We got 2 gas. We got 2 ass. Where do you sit?
I'm going to say
Dan sits in his room.
Because even though... What?
I said Dan sits in his room.
What?
Dan sits in his room.
What are you getting at?
I don't think he gets it.
Yeah, we're all in our rooms. What are you getting?
Lane said, Dan, where do you sit? And I said, Dan sits in his room.
Oh, okay. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, Dan.
I say ass because we are, like I said, Toronto has a history of all these sports, right? You look at the Blue Jays, for example. Yeah, it sucked what happened, but we're the only baseball team in all of Canada. Same with the Raptors. We're the only basketball team in all of Canada, and we did one in the past 6 years, right? And the Maple Leafs, we are hockey. We are the mecca of hockey. I mean, Hockey Factory wouldn't exist if the Maple Leafs were not a team.
Disagree with you 1,000%. It's the Rangers.
What?
Rangers are worth more than the Leafs. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. The Leafs aren't even the most valued team in Toronto Maple Leaf sports and entertainment. Because the Raptors are worth more than the Leafs right now. To the comments, trade Matthews for Marner.
Oh my gosh.
Wonder it. Could you
That would
convince
be
Matthews?
hilarious.
Hold on though. Could you convince Matthews to waive his no trade if you could somehow move him to Vegas?
For
But
what
Vegas
though?
couldn't afford his
Mark
salary cap.
Stone, screw it. Why
He
not?
never plays.
So neither, according to you guys, neither does Matthews.
Not for Mark. I wouldn't want Mark.
If you
Stone.
feel Matthews is like the quote unquote cancer of the team, then just get rid of him. Doesn't matter what you get for him.
I would trade him to Utah.
From
And John's comment here, and I wish I could make this comment bigger just to piss Lane off. Argos are the best in the CFL. The stats prove it. John Candy would be proud. Absolutely, John Candy would be
Oh
proud.
yeah, and then I got Hamilton. I think I got my tie cuts and suck even more. And I just should just never. I should just stop watching sports. Maybe that's just what it is.
I'm getting cult possessed kids boo at the end of Halloween with the boo reel.
Oh my god. Thank you for the comment there.
Yeah, thank you for the comment. We love all the comments here, and same for the comment about Austin Matthews.
Yeah,
maybe you do trade Austin Matthews. Maybe you do try to see if you're getting if you're willing to if Matthews is willing to waive his no trade clause, and maybe you do pull what Carolina tried with trading Nate just for Rantanen with Matthews. You try to do a big hockey trade, like trade him for, I don't know, call Edmonton, be like, we want Draisaitl. Do you want Matthews?
No, do we take Connor McDavid? Connor McDavid signed the free. No, let me finish. Connor McDavid signed the 3-year contract, saying, "Okay, Edmonton, you got 3 years to win the Stanley Cup." Do we think Edmonton's going to win Stanley Cup in 3 years? No way. Connor
Depends what they do
McDavid
next year.
from Toronto. It's a perfect trade. I don't think Matthews will go Edmonton though. But do you have the million? I think if you're in this situation at trade deadline, you're talking to Matthews. I'm like, okay, we'll buy you an extra Porsche, whatever you want. What will it take to move your no trade clause? And I think he'll probably say he'll want to go to Utah. I don't know what Utah has that Toronto could possibly want. Maybe it's 17 first round picks. I don't know. But it's like
Clayton Keller.
Yeah, but that can't be enough. He's not that good of a player. Like, you know, you
Pretty
got
good.
Yeah, but he's not Austin Matthews caliber. Austin Matthews on a skill level is probably one of the top 5 in the league because he's
not the last 2 years he hasn't been
40 goals.
Not last 2 years he hasn't been.
Sentiment. That's impressive. He's a great player skill. He's just not a franchise player in a hockey market like Toronto, like Montreal, like the Rangers. In a big hockey market, Matthews doesn't have the charisma to be the guy. But if you put him somewhere in like Utah or wherever, they don't really care, I think he can be one of the best players in the league.
I think,
So
you know what I think? I think is
sit down with him and say, what will it take? Because, there's a no move clause, meaning you can't move them. However, if you can convince them enough, you can trade them wherever they want to go. We saw Mitch Marner with the Nicholas Waugh. As much as we laugh at tree living, as much as the trade didn't work, we saw for trade with Florida and Calgary with Matthew Tkachuk, with Jonathan Huberdeau, and Mackenzie Weaver. Did the trade work out? No. But at least we didn't lose him in free agency. We got something.
You know what I think? I think this injury that he had the last year, the one that they claim is gone, that he's all better, I think this injury is so bad that we don't know what it is. I think it's much worse than what we think it is.
And I called it in the preseason. I said he's still injured. This is the same BS as they gave us last year. Oh, he's healthy, he's healthy, he's healthy. But he played pathetic all year, and he claims he's injured. I said it. It's the same thing all over again. You guys are, oh, no, he's healthy. No, he is not healthy. Just like I'm not healthy, but I'm honest about it. When he was like, oh, I missed weekends because I'm tired. Ugh. Okay, do you know who else missed the preseason? Alexander Ovechkin. What did he do last night? A bleeping hat trick at 40.
Ovechkin sucks this year. Get over it.
He got a hat trick.
He's trying to get going, actually.
Yeah. Also, quickly here, I agree with Key that if McDavid asks for a trade to Florida in 3 years, jerseys will be burned. Dan, you're getting karma apparently for choking. Marner was a good trade. His attitude after Florida loss was a tad much. No pun intended.
Tad. Because we're Tad.
But, well, look, guys, at the end of the day, it's frustrating.
What about
Dan's
you,
choking
Jacob?
like the Leafs are.
Do you agree with me? Do you think this injury is much worse than what, like, you think it's
Yes.
much worse than what we thought
Which is
originally
why I was
thought?
I
mad
was
on
right. He was
Matthew's
lying
fighting
in the
coordination.
preseason.
Guys, hold on. This is why, again, I don't want NHL players going to the Olympics. Because he's going to go to the Olympics. He's going to get even worse. He's going to come back to Toronto. He's going to be even worse.
Ass.
If you want NHL players to go to the Olympics, then move hockey to the Summer Olympics so it doesn't affect the season.
Well, that's an argument. Kind of like basketball.
Basketball, it's in the Summer Olympics.
That's what I'm saying. But
Football, it's in the Summer Olympics. It doesn't really affect.
How do you do hockey in the Summer Olympics?
It's indoors, dude. There's such thing as air conditioner.
That's just
Basketball's played in the winter, but it's in the Summer Olympics. If you want all these NHLers there, then put it when the NHL is not going on. At least then it's not affecting the teams as much.
I'll be honest, with the way the Leafs are playing, I can't wait for the Olympics because at this rate, I don't want to watch the Leafs anymore.
World Juniors are coming up soon, too. We still got to build our Olympic roster.
Well, speaking of Olympics, I have a gasso ass.
Man, you guys never want me to get to my other work. Okay, let's do.
I have to go there too.
Our ass. Yes, or is it ass? Yes. Or is it ass?
We'll probably do a whole Olympic preview show closer to February and all that. But I'm just going to say it because it's kind of trending in the news right now. Gasso ass, what are you thinking of new Team Canada jerseys? I personally love them. I think they're total gas. What do you think you guys think? Gasso ass.
They're ass. I don't like them.
Whoa. What do you think, Lane?
I think it's fine that they're there. Like, I'm not offended by them like some people are, but I don't like them.
What do you think, Lane?
Sorry, can you repeat? It was hard to hear the question. Can you repeat it quickly?
No problem. Gas or ass? Do you like the new Team Canada jerseys? I'm saying gas.
I don't like them.
Oh, interesting. Same with Brandon. Oh, wow.
Key's agreeing with me, by the way, it looks like, about the Olympics.
Huh.
John saying about the Olympics, only way to prove to Americans that Canadians are better in hockey as always.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon saying, I only like the white sweater.
See, I like the red and black. I love it.
Now, I'm not offended by it, because that's a thing people are offended by. Everyone's offended these days. But, 2010 jersey was the best one. I do agree.
I agree with that 100%. Yeah, for sure.
Maybe like the 03 jersey, too. Was
Iggy! Iggy!
What's your guys' favorite Olympic quote?
Iggy.
Okay, yours is Iggy. Lane?
What? I don't even know how to answer that question.
Well, I'll answer it because there's only one right answer. It's when Team USA walked over the Canadian flag in the women's jerseys for the women's game. And Haley Wickenheiser said, used to walk on our flag. Now do you want us to sign it? And that's after they beat them in the gold medal game.
In 2002.
Canada needs to ditch their black jerseys.
I like the black jerseys.
Well, as Dan says, once you go black, you never go back.
Oh.
That's how he feels about the jerseys. But look, guys, at the end of the day, I think that the rest of this road trip will really tell us the answer on what's going on with the Leafs. Whether they make some major trades, whether they fire the coach, or whether they just roll over and die.
Die? Holy cow.
Like this season, at least.
Oh, okay.
I do want to give a quick shout out before we head out for the night. We'd like to end things on a bit of a positive note. I picked up this beautiful Indigenous art designed travel coffee mug today at a Christmas bazaar.
Love it. It's beautiful.
And I just want to point out, as I like to say, we like to end things on a positive note. Remember to support your local Indigenous artists and initiatives. Right? These reserves, they have some absolutely beautiful artwork that you're able to purchase and even just go look at it, go to the friendship centers and see what everything's all about. So I did want to end it on kind of a positive note on the Indigenous. And I believe the artist of this, it's in the, maybe I took it out of the mug. I'll find it. But I believe the artist is based out of BC.
Probably. They got beautiful artwork in BC.
So, Indigenous art's a great, awesome initiative to support. I did want to add that in there. And I tried to end the show on positivity, but we're back to negativity that the Leafs suck. I do want to say to everyone, thank you very much for watching.
We laughed, so that was positive.
Pardon?
We laughed, so that was positive.
There you go. Thank you very much for watching us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. If you haven't had a chance to watch or listen to our part 1 of the Major League Sports recaps, that's up on our Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, the whole 9 yards. So head over there and give it a listen. Good night, Mr. John. And give that one a listen or a watch, whether you like to watch our beautiful faces or you only want to look at Lane and not us. You just put a picture of Lane up on your wall and then you listen to it on Spotify. Give the show a listen. Part 2 will be coming very soon. Unfortunately, Dan was a little under the weather yesterday, so we didn't get it done.
A little.
But Dan, we're not discussing that on the air. But thank you very much. Part 2 is coming very soon.
What's going on?
Part 2 is coming very soon. I'm going to mute Dan's mic before he gives us all those details. But part 2 is coming very soon of that. All the league recaps as well. We will be covering some of the World Cup coming up very soon in the soccer world. Have a special guest for that coming up. I'll unmute Dan's mic now.
We do. Cool.
But thank you very much for watching the Analyst Desk tonight. Make sure you check out those other episodes.
Thank you to the new people commenting and watching. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, new and old, to the likes and everything. Those likes help a lot, both on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch. So like and share, and thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching. And again, make sure you tune in with us. Check out some of our other shows, especially that last one we did. It's a show that I'm really proud of it. Thought it was a really interesting show.
Me too.
So thank you very much for watching. And we will be back. Hopefully we'll have a pre-record for you either Monday or Tuesday where we can go over the rest of that around the league. So thank you very much for watching us at the Analyst Desk. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, Mr. Jacob Moore, joined by Mr. Lane Dashco. And the one, the only, everyone's low-lit favorite homies. He won't turn his light on unless I tell him to. Mr. Moore, for your money. We'll see you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the new comments, as Dan says. We really appreciate you guys joining this community. Can't wait to bring you more content very, very soon.
Big stuff
coming. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you, Key. Have a great night. See you guys on the flip side.
Bye-bye.